This is a Pokemon journey that you've never experienced before. This is Pokemon Adventure Special Chapter, where we get to play as Yellow, a character from the Pokemon manga that most of you probably don't know. We embark on a journey to save Trainer Red, help out the Kanto region, and survive multiple battles. Let's go. And so our journey begins. We actually get to choose what character we want to play as, and yes, this game has multiple different versions of characters from the actual manga. We choose to play as Yellow because that's the point of this video. We're doing the Yellow chapter specifically, which is a part of the manga that specifically focuses on Yellow. Now, Yellow is a character that gets saved by Red and then actually gets help from Red to catch her first Pokemon, which is a Rattata. We also see what seems to be Agatha from the Elite Four, which, by the way, I should point out, is technically evil in the manga. She works for the Elite Four, which are also evil. Either way, a few minutes later, we learned that, well, she seems to be looking into what happened previously, and we actually did this in a previous video. If you guys haven't seen it, we actually played as Red, as Manga Red in a previous episode, or a previous video on the channel, where we specifically took on the journey of Red, trying to, well, basically just get all the gym badges and stop, the evil team, Giovanni, Team Rocket, all of them. Either way, it turns out that Red has been missing. He went to challenge the Elite Four, and ever since, Professor Oak, Misty, and all his friends are kind of concerned about him, as he got a challenge, but he hasn't shown up since. Then it looks like something is showing up. It's Pikachu, and it looks like it's specifically Red's Pikachu, which has ran away from him. And that's the end of the first prologue, and we also begin now with Chapter 1. We begin playing as Yellow. We run into our Rattata in our room. And then as we make our way down, we run into Wilton, who is our uncle. We talk to him, and he tells us, well, hey, if you're going to go for the Red's Pikachu, then actually take our Doduo with you, or take my Doduo with you, which is exactly what we do. We call it Dodie, which is the actual name of the Doduo in the manga. We also get our hands on the Rattata, which is also called Ratty, and that's also the official starter Pokemon, or the first one, that Yellow gets in the manga as well. Either way, now that we've done all that, we talk again to our uncle. He gives us his actual fishing rod, and then we run into Nikki. Now, Nikki, actually, interesting enough, she has problems with her Pidgey. She asks, well, specifically us in this case, hey, help me out. I want to figure out what my Pidgey is feeling. So please tell me what is going on here. So we talk to the Pidgey and we figure out, is it hungry or tired? And well, here's the thing. We figured out that it is actually tired. So she's going to let it just chill and watch some TV. And this gives us the ability now to understand Pokemon's feelings. This is an actual thing in the manga, more or less. And I think also, well, in the game, it follows the canon as much as possible. So yes, we have the ability now as Yellow to actually read the feelings of our Pokemon, which is pretty sick, and again, a pretty cool aspect of the games and, well, the manga as well. Either way, now that we're done with that, we go inside the old Viridian City gym, and we also talk to some Chanseys who seem to be referencing Yu-Gi-Oh! For some reason, and then we make our way down towards Route 1. As we go through there, though, we run into a nerd, and he wants to battle. He's got himself an Oddish, so it's not too much trouble for Doduo or Dodie in this case, because we do have, some flying type moves. As we go down there, though, Ashley and Gray here run into us. Now, you guys may remember from the actual Manga Red video that I made that there's a bunch of these made up characters which all have just names of colors. So Gray, you got Gray, of course blue is official and real, but you got Gray, you got Magenta, you got Violet, I think, as well. So it's a bunch of goofy ones. But either way, we're taking on Gray here, and he has himself a Glaceon, which we take down in no time. And after this, well, Gray's actually a little bit worried, and we actually heal, or actually, we interact and talk to his evolutions. We then go into what looks to be Red's house, but he's not around. We explore some of the other houses around, and eventually make it over to Professor Oak's lab. Once we get inside, well, Red is simply talking about, where is Red? Why is Pikachu here? And as we're talking to him, well, he gets a bit surprised that we can communicate with Pikachu and actually talk to him, and Pikachu wants to go with us. But, well, Oak does not allow that. He gets angry and tells us, just wait a minute, who do you think you are? This one belongs to Red. How do you even know Red? This is ridiculous. So what does he do? Well, he's going to, force us into a battle. We have to prove to him that we are actually the real us, or that we, are actually good people. So he sends a Sparrow at us, and we use the duo in this case. We go for a peck a few times. It takes a bit of a time and a bit of a while to actually defeat the Sparrow, as it is relatively difficult. But overall, we are actually able to take it down. Even though it's got speed boost, we take it out. And then we get to witness the actual thing that happens in the manga, which is double team, as Yellow is trying not to injure the Sparrow, and it's just basically just trying to tell Oak, hey, I'm the good person here. And so Oak realizes, well, this is a good individual. I'm gonna let Yellow take over this. So Yellow goes over to, well, Red's house, and there we actually receive Pikachu. It becomes one of our Pokemon, and we call it Pika, which I think is the actual name of Pikachu within the actual manga itself as well. Either way, next up is a lot of different occurrences. We make it back to Viridian City, then we head over towards Viridian Forest, and as we get there, the Ice Queen chapter starts. We have a battle against one of these people in the forest forest here. It's just a bug catcher, so it's not too difficult for us. And we do need some extra levels because some of the battles coming up are going to be difficult. We then go some fishing, and as we are fishing here, we run into something from, I think, chapter like 43, which is this Sea King. It ends up being a little difficult to battle up against and defeat, but luckily we do have, you know, Pika in our team, so it's not the end of the world. We then get to have the ability to actually take control of Pikachu, and as we do this, we discover on the map that Bill is here, the creator of the PC system in the Pokemon world. He's simply being attacked by a bunch of Pokemon, and so now we have the ability to move around as Pikachu. So that's exactly what we do. Now that we can do that, we can explore the area in a bit of a different way, right? We can't enter the actual like dungeon here. Instead, we go to Bill, and he freaks out because he thinks we're attacking him, and so he falls into the water because, well, he's a bit of a goofball. So now that that's happened, well, we got to run back all the way to Yellow, make sure she comes with us, stops her, you know, fishing, and comes with us to help him out. So that's exactly what we do. We run over to Bill, and, well, he needs some help. He's too far out, so we gotta go and get some vines and a piece of rock. So now we get to play as Pikachu and look around for these things. Eventually, we find him and bring them back to Yellow, who makes basically a line to help him out and get him out of the water. And so we do that, and he gets out. Now that he's out, though, well, he thanks us for saving him, but also he gets a bit freaked out as a Seadra shows up, a wild Seadra that isn't native to the Viridian Forest, I guess, or river. So we try to take it on. We slap it with a few different Thunder Shocks, which do enough damage to take it out, and then afterwards we don't, you know, really do much with it. We just kind of let it go and let it swim away. And so Red's Pikachu, well, he gets all freaky and weird again, and as we're talking to him, well, he discovers, well, this seems to be Red's Pikachu. That's what Bill realizes as well, because, well, Bill actually knows him too. And we also now gain the ability to heal our Pokemon. So after, well, basically defeating the Seadra, we heal it, but all of a sudden somebody shows up. Out of the forest, a individual shows up that we haven't really met yet. This person, we don't know who they are, but they tell us that there's been a battle specifically in the Elite Four between Red and Bruno, and that Bruno, well, basically destroyed Red and just literally demolished him, which is a bit strange as we don't really expect to hear that, but that's what we are being told. And that's sure, her name is Lorelei. So yes, this is Lorelei, the Elite Four, and yes, she is evil. I should point out, a lot of the characters that you may remember from, you know, Pokemon's first generation, a lot of them will be evil in this case. In the manga, they are not considered good people. They're actually bad guys. Like the Elite Four, for example, are bad guys, and some of the gym leaders originally were also bad guys. However, that changed over time and whatnot, but in this case, in the story, we are at that point where they are most likely still evil. Like, for example, Lorelei here, who's just trying to basically almost kill us. It's not even a joke. It's literally what's happening. So as we're stuck in the cave now, Pikachu helps us by communicating to Yellow about what's going on, and then we use a fake substitute ability to actually fake her out, and now she's stuck on top of that mountain or rather on the cave here, while we are able to actually use the diversion to escape. As we're running away, though, we run into what seems to be a shiny Caterpie out of nowhere. I think this might be in the manga too. It's a bit weird and random and odd. I didn't expect that, but yeah, just a random shiny Caterpie. Whatever. Either way, after defeating that one and dealing with it, we again run into one of her Pokemon. This time it is Cloyster, and in this case, we just try to, like, just go for what we can. We don't really have a lot of options in terms of moves. We are pretty stricken with low health, let's just say like that, and we are kind of outmatched. But we go into Pikachu hoping that the Thunder Shocks are going to be enough, which luckily we also get the Paralyze from the Thunder Shock, which is perfect, and we take down the Cloyster. Now that that's been defeated, though, we still have to escape from Lorelei, because she is still being the total villain. She asks us for our name. We tell her that our name is Yellow, and an individual, a secret individual, is listening from the distance, and, well, they call us an idiot, and that the instructions were to not give out our name. So we've been sent here clearly by someone else. If you guys can recognize the character, let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know who you guys think that is. Either way, now that we've had that conversation, and now that we've heard, you know, what's going on, well, Lorelei is trying to destroy us and get that Pikachu, because the Pikachu is the final way to destroy Red, right? It's the final Pokemon, and every single Pokemon has to be destroyed for him to be considered defeated. So they're trying to get their hands on the Pikachu, as that's the last necessary thing. However, we can't let that happen because, well, we don't want Red to be in trouble. We need to save him. He's been missing, and also he's technically kind of the champion of the region, so we got to make sure we get our hands on him. However, we get attacked by the Dugong, who uses Ice Beam, instead creating almost like a floating little, like, boat for us. All of a sudden, though, something happens as Lorelei gets attacked by something from the forest, most likely the person who was talking about us earlier. Either way, as we're making our way down the waters, we are actually falling asleep. It looks like Yellow is not handling things too well. Lorelei then gets a call from Agatha, it looks like, and Agatha is basically just talking about everything that's gone down, and that they have a few plans already lined up for the next location, and that things aren't really going to go our way. So yeah, either way, the end of Ice Queen chapter is there, and now the next chapter, called Pikachu, is about to begin. So now that we are in this forest, we don't know exactly where we are, but we are in a new forest, and so we make our way around. It looks like Pikachu doesn't really want to listen. listen. It seems to be kind of going against our wishes and our demands. And so Bill and us, well, we try to actually stop the Pikachu, but he kind of just runs away and does whatever he wants. We find a few items, and then as we make our way up this little hill, we run into an Arbok, which attacks us. So we use Pikachu in the battle to take it down. Now this thing, we managed to, like, you know, just destroy with an Electro Ball. However, what happens next is that Pikachu actually literally burns this Arbok to a crisp. Like, it actually kills it. Like, the Arbok gets destroyed. There's nothing left of it. And Pikachu doesn't really want to listen to us anymore, which is a little annoying. It's a little difficult to deal with. It's just being kind of difficult, let's just say it like that. But apparently a few years ago, when the Pikachu was still, like, you know, free, it turns out that the Pikachu actually had a girlfriend, a little Pikachu girlfriend, which is kind of cute, I guess. But yeah, it had a Pikachu girlfriend, and it turns out that that Pikachu girlfriend was attacked by an Arbok, but he couldn't save the Pikachu girlfriend, which is, yeah, very sad. And all of a sudden, Pikachu actually remembers Red being in trouble. He sees a memory of Red being attacked and being knocked out, and so that's the end of the Pikachu chapter, and now the Imposter chapter starts, as we're about to make our way into the next place. But first of all, we talk to Pikachu, just getting things solved, and this, you know, just kind of figured out for the most part, as we need to know where we are going and what's wrong with Pikachu, as he tries to basically hit us, and it turns out that he was dreaming about Red. So we try to, you know, kind of be just very understanding of the Pikachu's feelings, because at the end of the day, it doesn't belong to us. This isn't Yellow's Pokemon. This Pikachu belongs to someone else, aka Red. So we can't always expect it to listen to all of our demands. So let's just try to keep looking for Red. Either way, now that we've done that, it's time to make our way into the next location. In this case, it's going to be none else than, well, Route, I think, 16. And also, once we defeat this lady right here, we're going to make our way into Celadon. However, what's going on here? Well, it looks like Erica. You guys may remember Erica from Celadon City. Well, she's actually here teaching the students some new lessons about how some things work in Pokemon, like, you know, just Pokemon evolutions and all that kind of stuff, just teaching them all about these things. But either way, she then gets asked by Dipper, the, I guess, president, or rather the principal of the school here, to kind of like be a full-time employee, take a full-time position at the university. However, she kind of declines that because she still needs to be a gym leader back at her home, right? Back in her city, she still needs to be the one in charge and the one who controls things, you know, and does things correctly. But here's the thing, she still is worried about Red, though, as she is one of his friends alongside Misty, because she's one of the 4 good gym leaders, one of the 4 gym leaders that actually strive for, you know, doing the good thing, playing for the good side. However, as we get into Celadon City, we realize how large it is, but we also run into a stranger who knocks into us, and we ask him if he's okay, but he just doesn't really say anything, and he seems a bit sketchy. As we try to exit Celadon City, we run into Clinton, who seems angry at us and asks us, where did you get that Pikachu from, as he recognizes that as being Red's. So he decides to battle us and doesn't let us leave the city. We take out his weapon well, and now he demands the Pikachu before Erica shows up and stops him and tells him, hey, well, guess what? That Pikachu, it belongs to Red, but, you know, if Yellow's going to keep the Red, we're going to have to battle for it, okay? We're going to have to battle for the, you know, the right to keep it. So now that we're in the gym, we got to take out a few of the butlers here to gain keys to open up the rest of the gym. So we have a few quick battles. It's not really that many of them. It's about 3, and the 2 first butlers are relatively easy to defeat. It's a bit annoying that they are double battles, though, which I'm not the biggest fan of, I'm gonna be real. But then we gotta defeat, again, of course, Clinton. In this case, he has himself a shiny Gloom as well as a Weeping Bell, which, again, not that difficult. We just gotta spam some of our flying type moves, a few quick attacks and such, and eventually it is defeated. And so now that we defeated him, well, guess what? It's time to go and take on Erica. So Erica's battle is going to be, well, a little bit interesting, right? She's got herself a pretty decent team, and she doesn't really believe that we are strong enough. We have to actually defeat her in battle to be able to, you know, show that we can take care of Pikachu and also help out in the search. So we take down the Tangela, we take down the Gloom, in this case, as well as we're able to take it down with the Pex, because, yeah, Pex coming in really clutch here, not even gonna lie. Vileplume, though, ends up being a little bit more difficult, especially with those paralyzed, you know, the paralysis coming in as well, not really fun to deal with. Victory Bell comes in as well. We go for the Electro Ball, which is great as it does a lot of damage. And so we defeated Erica, and we hear also that apparently in the town square, none else than Red himself has shown up. And so everybody gets excited, and we run over there, and yeah, look, it's Red, guys. It's actually Red. And he says, hey, Pikachu, long time no see. And, well, everybody's happy. We actually find him before, boom. No, ladies and gentlemen, this is not the case. This was a disguise. This fella right here disguised himself and was able to steal Pikachu right now because, well, he seems to work for the evil people, right? The Elite Four, Team Rocket, whoever you want to call them, whatever you want to call them. So we try to hunt after him to stop him, but he keeps trying to run away from us, so it's a non-stop battle of trying to look for him. Meanwhile, on the other side of the region here, we get seemingly a picture of what looks to be a Pidgeot as well as, well, it looks to be a character we haven't seen in a while. So we also going and then getting a message sent over to Blaine. Blaine actually was part of Team Rocket, but he switched over to the good side earlier in the previous game. So we then find the bad guy, the imposter. We battle him, take out his Marowak. He also has a Paris. In this case, we quick attack it down, and he also has a Persian. Here we have to switch out the Pikachu, Thundershock, and it is done for. So now that we defeated him, well, it's not over yet, because all the other gym leaders show up, including Brock as well, and even Blaine shows up because he's the one who can research how this guy created this disguise, because the disguise actually needs DNA of the person, so he has Red's DNA. The question though is, how did he get his hands on it? Well, it doesn't really matter. Before you know it, this guy, well, he's just laying there, and we're talking to the other guys, or well, we're talking to our friends here, but before you know it, he actually escapes and disappears, and all of a sudden he's hovering in the sky, and we're wondering, well, okay, what is going on here? We ask the others if they can see it, but they finally figure out it is a ghastly, because it's been creating a fog where it's controlled this imposter. So all of a sudden, flames come from, of course, none else than our friend over here. We help out the little Caterpie that was in trouble. And as we are doing this, we talk to Blaine, but before you know it, it tries to blow itself up before, of course, Blue shows up. Yes, Blue's here with his Charizard. He just nukes the little Ghastly, and we're able to stop the imposter as well in the process of this. And as we're talking to him, we actually get to receive something. We get a Graveler from Brock, and this is actually a real Pokemon called Gravy, which is a real one in the manga the Yellow receives. But that's not all. We also get Omni. Omni is actually one of the Pokemon also received by Yellow in the manga, specifically from Misty in this case. So we get those 3 Pokemon, and then Green, well, I call them Blue, but you guys get it. Green, Blue, whatever you want to call them, tell us to go to the power plant. We need to do some, I guess, work, because there's been stuff happening at the power plant, and he wants to teach us how to actually get stronger. So we go for chapter 5 over here into the power plant. As we talk to him, he tells us, hey, there's something in here. There's some Pokemon, and I want you to go in first and, you know, defeat whatever's in here. As we go around, we end up finding that it is a ghost in here. There's a literal ghost that exists, and we have to battle it. We take it down eventually with the help of course, having the paralysis from the Thundershock. And that's not all. We also then discover, well, Green wants us to get stronger. He doesn't really believe in us just yet. And as he's trying to help us out here, or tell us to, you know, get out of the way, well, guess what? A Haunter reveals itself. That was the ghost, so we tried to take it on. We got Pursuit, which does a decent amount of damage. However, not enough to take it down in a single hit. Eventually, though, we are able to defeat it. And as such, we've completed the last chapter for this game.